We've learned the woman hit in a Kroger parking lot in Richmond yesterday has died.
A Lexington man is accused of selling underage girls to men he met online.
We'll tell you why they're filling up this huge trailer to help disaster victims in eastern Kentucky.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at Noon.
Good afternoon from WKYT News. We're glad you're with us. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Barbara Bailey. A sad update to a story we first brought you last night on WKYT News at 4. A woman who was hit by a car outside a central Kentucky Kroger has died.
An SUV reportedly backed into 89-year-old Christine Blakeman, pinning her between two cars at the Kroger in Richmond. The Fayette County Coroner's Office has confirmed that she has died at UK Hospital. WKYT's Victor Puente is live with reaction from the woman who tried to help the victim. And that's our top story.
The woman who helped Christine Blakeman in the moments after she was pinned beneath that car told us that she was talking while they were waiting for help to arrive. The Fayette County coroner said the 89-year-old died a few hours after that crash. Police had left by the time we got here yesterday afternoon, but they left behind evidence of where those vehicles had been parked. A Kroger representative said Blakeman was shopping with her daughter when she was struck by that driver. A witness said Blakeman's arm was pinned between that car and an SUV. Firefighters freed her and took her to UK Hospital. The coroner says she died around 4:45. That Kroger representative said the driver of that car was also taken to the hospital. They believe she may have had a medical condition. The woman who helped Blakeman is a nursing student. She said she kept her talking while waiting for paramedics.
That was the worst part, was feeling helpless. There was nothing else I could do but talk to her. I wanted to alleviate her pain or, let somebody know that she's definitely going to be okay, but I couldn't do those things. And
Richmond police are investigating the crash. They told us that they plan to release more information on their investigation sometime this afternoon. Live in Madison County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Victor, thank you very much. And Christine Blakeman's funeral is being handled by Combs, Parsons, and Collins Funeral Home in Richmond.
A man accused of selling two teenage girls for sex will face a judge in less than an hour. Robert Constant will answer to 2 counts of human trafficking in a Franklin County courtroom at 1 o'clock. He was already in jail when Lexington police charged him with the crime. WKYT's Sam Smith spoke with the investigating officers in this case. He's in downtown Lexington with the new information he's learned on what led to Constant's arrest.
I talked with police this morning. They say their investigation into Robert Constant started weeks ago. They say a juvenile victim came forward to police to report the crimes, and she also mentioned another victim too. Police spent the following weeks investigating Constant. According to court records, Constant found his clients on Backpage.com and would schedule meetings so the girls could have sex with men for money. We're told he knew these teens. Police say they're from the central Kentucky area. Police also say he provided the teenage victims with crack cocaine. That's why he's charged with unlawful transaction with a minor on top of the human trafficking charges. Police believe Constant was working alone in these crimes. They say this all happened over the course of 1 week in June. He was already in jail when those charges came down. The 27-year-old Constant was arrested about 3 weeks ago on unrelated offenses. Police say when they caught him with drugs on the north end of the city, he tried to run. Police say the teens involved in this latest case have been recovered and they are safe. Police don't believe there are other victims out there. In Lexington, Sam Smith, WKYT.
Sam, thank you. Police say there are no allegations that these teens were forced into prostitution because of their ages. They can't consent. The search continues this midday for a missing Northern Kentucky girl. 13-year-old Benita Hawks has not been seen since Friday when she apparently ran away from her Kenton County home. Police think she's in the Covington area and could be with a much older man she met online.
Well, most of the heavy rain is finally pushed out of the bluegrass. There is still a chance for a stray shower this afternoon and into the evening, but then we dry out. Some really nice days are ahead. WKYT meteorologist Micah Harris is live in our First Alert Weather Center with a look ahead.
You know, we get through today, and it looks like Wednesday through Saturday, for the most part, not everybody, it's not completely dry, but for the most part, we'll be dry. I mean, it looks pretty good, and we just got to get through today. And I say get through today. I mean, you look on First Alert Defender Live Radar, there's a few blips here and there. Look, I do not expect thunderstorm activity to be very scattered out and about. If you do get a thunderstorm, it's one or two, and that's about it. No severe weather out of it. But most of this that will be flying by, very light showers. You got any plans to take off and knock out some yard work? Go ahead and do it. It actually doesn't feel too bad outside with the clouds hanging around. Humidity is still up, but a few showers here and there cannot be ruled out later on this afternoon. And it's really that 2 to 6 p.m. time frame. That's your best bet. Off into the evening, it's mainly dry, right around 80 degrees. Focus of the forecast, it's not completely dry, but most of us will dry out. And that's some much welcome news. That is for sure as we take our way off into the weekend. Now, I get into that forecast and show you who actually will see rain toward midweek coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, and more relief is on the way for flood victims in eastern Kentucky. The American Red Cross and Wildcat Moving are teaming up to collect supplies to send to some of the hardest hit areas. WKYT's Rebecca Smith has more on what you can do to help. Rebecca?
Pretty much anything you can think of is what the folks need out in eastern Kentucky. Things like washcloths, Pop-Tarts, emergency essentials like bottled water, and even random items like this table lamp and storage unit. It really is all so helpful. So you're urged to come out and do what you can to donate.
Wildcat Movers and the American Red Cross partnered to fill the trailer with items for flood victims. Eastern Kentucky was hard hit by flooding, and since then community groups have gotten together to host donation drives or raise money. Mom Kelly Mudd took time out of her day to bring in diapers and other baby essentials.
Just trying to help just as much as you can. It's so important, especially during something like this, and especially with something like baby items. I mean, just the pictures were devastating enough. So, I mean, I can't imagine the situation, and I can't imagine what that feels like to need help.
1390 Olivia Lane, that is the spot where the American Red Cross is located, right off Newtown Pike. So just come out into the back parking lot. That's where this trailer will be set up. You can see they've got a ways to go before they get the thing completely full, and that's where you come in to help. They're taking donations until late this afternoon. In Lexington, Rebecca Smith, WKYT.
And what they're most in need of right now are things like baby diapers, baby food, baby wipes, water, and non-perishable food items.
A day after a federal judge heard arguments over the Rowan County clerk refusing to issue marriage licenses, Governor Steve Beshear is standing behind his view on the issue. During a state budget news conference this morning, Beshear was asked about some clerks saying that their religious freedoms were being violated. The governor again stated that clerks must comply with the U.S. Supreme Court's ruling that same-sex marriage is legal.
When you voluntarily decide to run for an office, and you win, then you raise your hand and you take an oath to uphold the Constitution of the United States. That oath doesn't say I'll uphold those parts of the Constitution that I agree with and won't on the parts that I don't agree with.
The ACLU sued Rowan County Clerk Kim Davis after she stopped issuing marriage licenses. The judge has said he will make a ruling the week of August 11th. During this morning's budget news conference, the governor announced the state will have an $82 million deposit going into the state rainy day fund out of a $164 million surplus. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says that he will be at this year's Fancy Farm Picnic, taking center stage on August 1st in Western Kentucky. Of course, will be the race for governor. That pits Democrat Jack Conway against Republican Matt Bevin. McConnell says he is hoping to make this year's Fancy Farm interesting. The event features armies of sign-toting, often noisy hecklers on both sides, along with some really good barbecue.
And the barbecue sometimes is hot as all the rhetoric.
Hot as along with the talk. You're right. Medal of Honor recipient Dakota Meyer is speaking out about the Department of Defense's policy that keeps guns out of recruiting centers. Meyer says the reaction to the shooting at 2 military facilities in Chattanooga, Tennessee, shows the terrorists might be winning. He adds that we should be giving our men and women in uniform the choice to carry their own firearms.
Terrorism is when people come over and they instill fear inside of people to where they change their way of life, and that's how terrorism wins, and that's how it grows. And I can tell you the last thing that I would hope that any Marine would do is take their uniform off because they're a fear of something might happen. I mean, that's crazy.
Meyer, who is from Adair County, was awarded the Medal of Honor for his actions in Afghanistan in 2009.
A traffic alert for drivers who travel a busy stretch of a Lexington road.
Part of New Circle Road will be shut down from 10 o'clock tonight until 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. That's to give crews the chance to work at demolishing the old Frankfort Bridge. This is all part of the widening and reconstruction project from Versailles Road over to Leestown Road. They had a little bit of a rain out in the overnight hours last night, so they hope to make a lot of progress later on today.